Hey family, I am on early. Got my goal ready. Oh my goodness. I did not want to come up here. I've gotten to that place where I've been comfortable that I don't want to be on social media talking. I'm just in a really, really good space. Plus, I've also been facing some things, and my stress level has been up. I don't know how you feel when you're stressed, but for me, I start to get this tightness around my neck, tightness in my chest, and I have to just really get quiet, not talk, and just try and calm myself down. And sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. When it doesn't, I've got to start praying. And to add on to the praying, I might replay the same gospel song over and over and over just to fill myself up with the Holy Spirit, just to feel stronger, to feel better, just to take that stress off. Thankfully, it's not going to eat food. Now it's really about praise and worship. So when those stress levels lift up, I don't know how it is for you. Thank you for tapping the live. I don't know how your stress level is when things get stressful, when you just have battle after battle and you're like, when is this going to give up? How do I get through this? Remind yourself to pray. Don't pick up the phone and call that friend. Do this yourself, because sometimes that friend's not going to be able to pick up the phone. If you want to call on someone, call on the Most High. He's available 24/7. I promise you, he's always there. And so when you start facing them battles and you feel like I'm having trouble, this is getting too difficult, this is too much to carry, Most High, talk to him, pray, turn on your gospel music. I was just saying, thank you, Holy Spirit. Sometimes I'll replay the same gospel song over and over and over. Sometimes I'll cry. I was saying this to my adult son yesterday. I was like, sometimes I just have to cry to get that stress out. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry you're going through that. I'm like, no, sometimes tears help. Sometimes tears help you release. It's not because I'm upset. I'm just trying to fight this battle. And I'm trying to get this stress up off of my body. It happens. It happens to everyone. Sometimes people don't think about those things. They're going to their vices. It might be relations. It might be smoking flowers. It might be drinking. It might be watching porn. So with that being said, it's like a reprogramming of yourself. What do I do to help myself in these tough times? And we all have faced tough times. It might be your family. You might feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. You're trying to take care of everyone, but no one's saying, let me take care of you. And you're stressed and you're struggling and you're wondering how you're going to figure out certain situations. And then you're getting bombarded by more issues and more. Everyone's got something going on and they're all coming to you. How do you deal with that pressure? How do you deal with that stress? That's why it's so important to have a prayer life. It's so important to have a relationship with the Most High. It's so important to make sure that you're spending time with him and getting rid of distractions, because you've already got a lot going on. So I was saying when I started this live that I didn't even want to get on here because I am facing some things. I feel like I have the weight of the world on my shoulders, and I have to keep reminding myself, God, you got to take this over. God, you got to help me with this because I can't do it by myself. I'm tired. Everyone's coming from every single direction. What am I doing here? And I can't give up. I refuse to give up. And so I know where the strength is. I know where the encouragement is, the unconditional love. I know who fights my battles, and that's the Most High. And I just want to remind you tonight that whatever you are facing, whatever you're dealing with, you're not alone in this. Your story's not over. He's still writing it. If you're not hearing from him, he's working behind the scenes. And that's one thing I'm so thankful about. He is always present. Sometimes I'm like, God, how come you're quiet? But he's not. He's actually working on things behind the scenes on my behalf. And I just want to give him all the glory and all the praise for all the things that he did today that I don't even know about. I'm just so thankful. Thankful that he allowed me the voice, allowed me the courage to come up on here and just speak about him and testify about his goodness and encourage my brothers and sisters just by planting a seed to let them know, you know what? You don't have to do this by yourself. whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're facing, you don't have to do this by yourself. Whatever that diagnosis is that not the Most High, but man gave you, the Most High will take care of it. He is the doctor. He's the healer. He will change our DNA. He is a miracle worker. And I speak from experience. So I just want to remind those that are out there that might have been having a tough time like me. I was saying at the beginning of this live, I was having stress in my neck and in my chest. And I'm like, I don't feel right. God, take this up off of me. And he does it. And he gives you redirection, and he helps you to understand that things are going to be okay. You're going to be just fine. One other thing that I wanted to talk about was, now for me, I'm one of those people that I would try to help everyone. And then when I would need help, nobody was around. Everybody's just dispersed. And God was just, redirecting me on, sometimes people will take advantage. Some people won't even ask for your help. If they say certain things, they'll think you'll catch on, and then you'll just offer your help. And I've noticed that a lot lately. And finally, I picked up on it because the Most High had drawn my attention to it. And so I stopped feeding into that. I stopped offering help in certain situations. I figure, you know what, if I can ask for help, other people can ask for help without hinting to it, so they would think, she's just going to jump on it, she's going to do it. And so I stopped. And I slightly felt a little bit guilty, but I was like, no, we are adults. I'm not going to say who I'm speaking about. We are adults, and we should be able to advocate for ourselves, to be able to ask for help, to be able to speak to people with not feeling some type of way. And what I realized is this person had a lot of pride. They figured that, you know what, she's just going to show up. She's just going to take care of this. And that's not the case. You don't allow people to use you and abuse you. If you want to help people, it's fine. But when you're starting to realize it's a pattern, and they're not even thankful that you showed up, they just know you're going to show up. You might want to take a step back and just reevaluate things. Ask God, what's going on here? I didn't even ask God. He just told me, you know what, you've got to be mindful about who you're there for. I know that you want to help others, and that's okay. But sometimes people abuse that, and that's what I'm getting at. That's what was happening in my situation. I think those were a couple of things I wanted to just touch on tonight. Coming up on here once a night for me has been a better shift. However, sometimes I don't even want to come up on here. Sometimes I feel like right now that, and nothing against these apps, I get distracted. And I'm trying my best to stay focused on reading my word, praying, just really kind of self-reflecting. And that's important for us to do. Also healing. There's things that still are going on within me that I didn't realize needed to be healed. And I just ask you to take your time away from social media here and there, and just reevaluate what's going on with yourself. Make sure you're taking the time to heal the areas that haven't been addressed in your life. Make sure you are talking to the Most High about what's going on in your life, instead of just trying to forget about it and hopping on here and just scrolling, and then hours pass by and you figure, you know what, problem solved. But then you put that phone down, you go to sleep and wake up and the problem's still there. So what I'm trying to say is just make sure that you are spending time with the Most High, and not spend more time with him than you are on social media. And I am working on that myself. I'm not guilty. I am guilty of the same. Spend less time even on the television. It's so easy to binge watch so many shows. You've got different shows where you could just watch them all day long, and then where the time go. And so God is just really giving me some things to reflect on, things that I need to check, and I want to share those with you. It might not be for everyone, but someone it might resonate with. The other thing I wanted to just share is, if you are, and I've had a few messages about this, if you are nervous, thank you, Holy Spirit, about coming up on social media to give your testimony, if you are thinking that no one's going to want to hear what you have to say, if you are thinking that you're going to be judged, the enemy is working against you. I can tell you right now, the enemy does not want you to share your testimony. And all of these thoughts, all of these things are going to come up, and you're going to keep putting it off to the point where you just tell yourself, never mind, I'm not going to do it. I just want to encourage my brothers and sisters out there to come on social media, wherever it is you're supposed to do your testimony or write your book or your poetry or your songs, whatever your assignment is, share it. Somebody out there is waiting for you. Someone out there can resonate with your story. Everyone's story is different. Everyone's journey is different. And it's important for us to make sure that we are sharing what we're going through, completely transparent. Don't be afraid about what people are going to say. I've shared some things on here before that people will like, why is she sharing all this stuff? I'll share it now. I'm on this app, I'm on social media, and I'm sharing my testimony because the Most High saved me. I hit rock bottom. I had been in a long-term on and off relationship with my children's father since high school, and it was very toxic, domestic violence. My oldest son seen a lot of it. I was not the best person either. I engaged in a lot of this toxic behavior. I was very controlling. I felt that because I was the breadwinner of the house, that I was the one that made all the decisions. I pretty much did. But I expected this man that couldn't be the man I needed him to be emotionally, but could be the man I needed him to be physically in the bed. I wasn't getting what I needed out of him, and I was trying to control him. And that's not what you do. You do not try to control people. People are going to be who they are. If you don't like the situation that you're in, leave. But I couldn't leave because I had invested so many years, so much of my time in this person that I felt that he owed me. But he didn't owe me anything. And there was so many situations with cheating, many situations where I found out that I had been infected with something via a piece of mail from the hospital saying that he owed X, Y, and Z to the hospital because he had been treated in the emergency room for a STD. I found out that way. I would be bent over in pain, and I'd be like, do I have something? Do I have something? This is the conversations I would have with him. Nope, you're good, you're good. Go to the doctor and find out I'm sick. Oh, it probably came off from a towel or something. Just the craziest stories, the craziest things that I would believe. The chaos and confusion that I allowed myself to stay in. I was completely engaged in all of this nonsense. And I accept my responsibility in it because I truly engaged in it. It was Jerry Springer / Cheaters / those are the two shows that come to mind. But long story short, we have a son. I had twins, and it was about, I think they were 2 years old, and someone else came on the scene, and I thought he was the most perfect person, handsome, good job. He was the opposite of what my children's father was. Good job, house, car, had 2 children, good job, as I said before. So I thought that I was elevating. And so this person said, you know what, you gotta, I know this man's living in your house, but you gotta clean up your mess here. And I did. And because of that man, I got rid of my children's father. I told him, you gotta leave, you gotta go. And he did. And I had to not only did I have to tell him to leave the house, but just knowing how much I invested in him, I was free to let it go. And I did it with tears because I'm like, I've known this person since high school and we've been through a lot together, and it was mostly bad, but it's time for you to go. I'm moving on to higher horizons here. So long story short, this man was pretty much very similar to my children's father. Very similar. Narcissist, but he was handsome. And he would love bomb me most of the time, but then the narcissistic side would come out. Very judgmental, would body shame me, would talk poorly about my kids. And I was starting to hear the Most High around this time. That's the time I was really starting to hear him, and he was really starting to take the blinders off of my eyes and my ears. And when I'm forgetting to mention, when I was with this situationship, I'm leaving a part out. He had clearly stated to me, I cannot be in a relationship with you right now because I'm going through a lot of stuff. But he could still sleep with me and we could still hang out and act like we were dating. But we're going to call it I'm calling it a situationship because he's not ready for a relationship right now. And I accepted that. I figured that I could convince him that I was a good woman. I could figure, I've already taken care of one man. I can help this man. I can show him that I could be there for him and we can do this together. We could do life together. But that was never the situation. I just happened to be his next season. I was just one more person. And my season with him lasted a year, a little over a year. But long story short, I started giving him money. I started paying his bills. I paid his mortgage for over a year. And this is all stuff that I did, not by force, but I helped him. And I felt that I was making an investment. Well, God told me otherwise. He's like, this man is not for you. He's not. And I ultimately got sick and tired of what was going on. And I turned my life over to the Most High. I finally woke up and said, this is not for me. This is not what I want for my life. This is not what I want my kids to see. And I'm tired. I'm tired of having my heart broken. I'm leaving out a pertinent part. I learned at a young age that bad behavior is good behavior, that's okay. I was abused by my mother's boyfriend. After my parents got divorced, we moved right in with this stranger and I was abused by him. And I spoke up on it, told my mom about it, but nothing happened and this person stayed. And so I had also abandonment issues. So I'm holding on to these men that are no good for me with having these abandonment issues, which the Most High pointed out, and also accepting their bad behavior. And that's not what we're supposed to do. I had no morals. I had no understanding of self-respect. I allowed these men to disrespect me in so many different ways. And I would cry and be like, why can't you treat me better? But the issue is I needed them out of the way. I would never find the people that I needed to in the state of mind that I was to respect me because I didn't respect myself. And so long story short, I turned my life over to the Most High. He told me to start sharing my testimony online, start encouraging my brothers and sisters online. And I started that back in 2018. I started that over on IG and I had just went over to Facebook a few years ago. And now I'm just here. I just showed up here back in, I think it was right around the time that TT was being shut down. And then it came back in 24 hours. And for the longest time, I did not want to get up here to share anything because at that point in time, I was dealing with family hurt. Having my family stab me in the back, but smiling in my face. And they were just, it was crazy. It was crazy. And that caused me to go into a deep depression. And I just wasn't ready to come on and share. And once I finally pushed that live button and started sharing, I started to feel that weight lifted. I started to feel like I don't stay in this depression anymore. God's using you to plant those seeds. Someone out there needs to hear what you've went through and how to get out of it, and that they're not by themselves and that they are loved by the Most High unconditionally. So that is the reason why I'm on this app. And you know what? Many people come through this room and some stay, some go. Sometimes there's 0 people in here, but what's most important is you can't focus on who's coming to listen. You can't focus on who's tapping or gifts. You've got to focus on the message. You've got to be obedient to the kingdom, to the Most High. That is the true reward. That is the true reward when it comes down to it. You want to make sure that you are being the good and faithful servant, that you are showing up, that you are showing out, that you are giving your testimony, that you are speaking your truth, that you are being completely transparent. That is what is important. That is the true reward. And I just pray that my brothers and sisters out there, don't be afraid. If you are, do it afraid. Share your testimony afraid. But once you get past that first step, you'll be like, wow, why was I so worried? Why did I allow the enemy to get in my head to make me think you can't do this or no one's going to listen? You know what? Sometimes people don't listen, but it doesn't matter. Show up for the Most High. Show up for yourself. You be your biggest cheerleader. And by the way, there's no other competition but you. You are your competition. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Don't worry about what everyone else is saying. Don't worry about those things. God is the promoter. He's going to be the one that's going to provide and take care of everything. Trust in him, believe in him, and know that you are one of a kind. You are uniquely made and no one else is like you. So just remember those things. Stop worrying about what everyone else is doing and focus on yourself, focus on the Most High, and focus on your journey. So it was going to be short and sweet tonight. I am going to head over to IG. I usually stay over here for a half hour, but I've got some things I've got to address still before the night's over. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you for those that came in and tapped, and thank you for those that stayed and listened. I pray that something I said resonated with you. Know that I'm not giving up, and I don't want you to give up. And know that when things get stressful and you get tired, don't give up on yourself. Sometimes we are being stretched so tight. We are being just spread thin. And we're like, what's going on? That's not the time to give up. That's not the time to give up. That's the time to really press and push yourself and lean on the Most High and ask for his help. Don't give up. Don't give up and show up. Show up for the Most High. Okay. That's it for tonight. Love and blessings on you. Son of Psalm says, press. Yes. All right. I'm going to head over to IG and share the same thing. Thank you, Son of Psalms, for coming in and tapping. I appreciate you. Thank you, everyone. Wednesday is my normal night. I know I was not on, and I know we're Thursday, but I plan to be back Wednesday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless I'm led to. But thank you again for hanging out with me and listening, and I pray that something I said encouraged you. Love and blessings on you, family.